Hello, hello, hello. How's it going? Welcome to... World of Horror. I was going to play some more Wandersong tonight, but my Elgato sound was not doing so well, and then I went to uninstall it and reinstall it, and the Elgato site was down. It's like, we're away for right now, we're down for maintenance, so we'll be back. So I was like, I'll just go to my old standby World of Horror. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Oh, you know what? Let me grab another piece of paper so I can write down some notes. A memento. I realized that the piece of paper I was using was something else that I needed, so I was like, I'm gonna stop scribbling on this and get an actual new pad and a pen, a dark pen. I was using this like orange pen. You can't see it very well, especially in this lighting. So yeah, I just got an email from Twitch inviting me to be an affiliate. So yeah, that is pretty awesome. And I have my stats pulled up to see. Aw, thank you, Silver Shadow. Yeah, I had some technical difficulties. I was just bitching about it before you got in here, maybe. I was gonna play Wandersong, and the sound was off, and I was like, okay, I'm going to uninstall my capture thing and reinstall it. When I went to reinstall it, their Elgato, like the people that made the capture card, their website was down, so I couldn't reinstall the software. So I was like, you know what, it's a sign. It is a sign. Hope your evening's going well. Hope you had some dinner. Glad you're here anyway. But yeah, I was just like, what are the chances? Yeah, the sound, I've had problems with the Elgato capture, with the sound. It sounded very like tinny, distorted, like you're not quite tuned into the right radio station. It's a job of work, trying to figure out streaming stuff, so yeah. So this is another go-to game I have. It's not as lighthearted. It's like that sometimes. I've had plans for streams and have had to divert because of stuff like that, yeah. It's like, well, I'm going to spend 20 minutes trying to figure this out, and if in that 20 minutes I can't get it figured out, then it's in God's hands. Lord, take it from me. How is the rest of your stream? How is your evening going? I'm starting on some World of Horror. Like I said, this is not as this is not happy like Wandersong is, but I like this game a lot. You get to change the palette, so you can like choose how you want the game to look. I always mess around with this. I'm one of those people that like changes settings on things like every few weeks or months, like change the background of my computer, change the background of my phone. It's good. Gonna go put my frozen pizza in the oven and play Star Rail more and watch you. Awesome, that sounds perfect. Yeah, pizza was the way to go tonight. It was so good. I ate half of the pizza. I'm going with this purple. I love this purple. It goes with the aesthetic, kind of. Alright. I'm gonna do a new story. And pray... it sounds like more thunderstorms are coming in, so praying that the internet doesn't go out. Knock on wood. Oh boy. Continue. Okay, we'll just do a true chaos. We're gonna do a quick play, and then I'll customize the playthrough later. So in this game, it's an RPG. You get to kind of pick the difficulty. It's not like typical combat. It's It's almost like a turn-based combat. It is pretty much a turn-based combat. I don't know what I'm saying, but we're gonna do True Chaos. City of Shiokawa, Japan, 1980X. Something strange is happening in our town. Robed figures can be seen gathering in the woods at night. People are going missing. Disgusting creatures are terrorizing the seaside. Oh, you know what, Silver Shadow? Duh, let me give you a shout out. Thank you again for coming by. You'd think this is my first day streaming. It basically is. Every day is a new day. The rapid technological progress of the modern era brings comfort, but also new unknown threats. Old gods, malicious eldritch beings who ruled the earth eons ago are awakening as reality starts to crumble. Armed with clues, spells, and your dwindling sanity, you'll investigate mysteries across the city and in realms beyond. It looks like there's somebody in the back seat of the car. I've never really looked at all the art in this game. An old train slows down and stops at its last station. The end of the world is at hand, and you finally arrived in the doomed town. Lovely, love it. The Eternal Web, Sithak Adarasu, is once again awakening from its slumber. Blinded by its impossible to satisfy hunger, it has started to tear down the walls of its cocoon prison. Stop it before it devours us all. It's all upon my shoulders to stop it. Backstory, World of Horror, random, okay. Oh, I'm playing as Mimi. Oh great, Mimi's Obsession. Minus 20% max reason. Love it, love to see it. Don't I have... Oh my gosh, her reason is really low. Okay, I have a scalpel at least, so I'm going to equip that. Oh boy. Oh, Troy, thank you so much for subscribing. That is so awesome. I was like, I have no idea what's gonna happen. Thank you, Troy. Shout out to you. I was meaning to start streaming earlier. Oops. Wow, I can't even do this. I'm so speechless. I'm so excited. There we go. Give you a proper shout out. Anyway, I was meaning to stream something else this evening, the game I was playing last night. Technical difficulties, the world, you know. Thank you so much for subscribing. I can't believe it. My homework for the next week is to figure out emotes and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go into deep YouTube research mode. But thank you so much for subscribing. And for coming by. And for coming by. Your presence is always... It's always nice to see friendly people. Aw. Those were the free emojis, and they got me with the cats. I mean, show me cats, I'm in, you know. Of course, I can't stay but wanted to be the first, one of the first. That is so sweet. I really, really appreciate that. Silver, if you're here, you should check out my friend Troy Takes Photos. He streams like riff tracks, and you can join in the audience and you can vote, or you can get in on the Discord and play games with other people. Or if you're just like, hey, I want to sit out but I want to watch something funny, check out Troy and his streams, because it's always a good time. And I usually play on Wednesday nights with everybody, and yeah, it's always great being with you, and you're such a kind person too. So a kind person, a funny person. Been friends for, I'm trying to remember how long ago I met you. I think I talked about it a while back, but it's been a few years. Okay, getting our cases started. Gonna go to our home. Oh, okay. City's changing so fast you can barely recognize it anymore. We are going... I never go to the occult shop. Is this gonna be the time I'm gonna go to the occult shop? Hopefully I'll see you both then. Please come by. I'm streaming tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Knock on wood, Troy, barring disaster, I will be there. Boutique focusing on cursed artifacts and occult stuff. You know what, let's just go, let's make that a thing this time. I'm gonna make it a point to go to the occult shop. My parents would be so mad. Oh boy. The illegal den, I also want to go there. That's where all the good stuff is. Okay. I think we're ready. Confirm and continue. You check your mailbox, it's empty. Back in your home, you think of your next... I really like her style. She's got a very casual, like... I would want to wear something comfortable if I was going to try to stop the end of the world. Oh, and an empty bottle. Yes. I love that. Silver Shadow, yeah, definitely, if you can. Or you can just kick back and relax and laugh along at the riff tracks as we play. It's a wide variety of people and everybody's very friendly. I feel like I have to say that. I guess that when I started getting on Twitch, I was like, people are gonna be, I don't know, I was expecting the worst. Sorry, between cooking, it's cook away. You deserve some delicious pizza and some relaxing. All right, so we found $1 in our little weird mailbox thing. I guess we will. How many? Ooh, tank top, P culture, good girl, tracksuit, surf. Okay, we're gonna start out with just nurse, and we're gonna take a bath and fill up our bottle with water. Is 13 the highest reason I can get? Okay, so I got my bottle of water. Delicious. I think... I don't even know if that experience boost is worth it. I wish I knew my maximum. Can I see my maximum stuff? You. Level up. I can't level up. It's my first time playing, it seems like, huh? Alright, we're just gonna go for the experience boost. And let's see what's on the TV. Local police are helpless as more and more victims with their throats slashed turn up in the downtown area. Lovely, lovely. Lovely. Take a peek out of our peephole. Nobody out there. That's good. Alright, we'll start... Oh wait, do I have anything in my storage? No. Okay. Start a new mystery. I'm gonna move this mouse closer to me. I feel like I need to get a better desk for this. Inexplicable and morbid events have been plaguing your town for some time now. You've marked down 5 of them, hoping that there is something connecting them. You can tackle these 5 mysteries in any order you want. Beware, your decisions will haunt you and influence yet unsolved mysteries. Same old spiel. See it every time we play. Perilous Parable of the Peculiar Painting. Bloody Brief of a Beckoning Bulletin. The Curious Case of a Contagious Coma. Ooh, the Evolving Eels. I guess let's start with the Rancid Ramen one that we've done before. We've done all of these before, but I don't have ending B for this one. I don't have ending A for this one. And I don't have ending C for that one. We'll come back. We'll start out with Rancid Ramen. Delicious. I know, Silver, if you're eating dinner, I hope this doesn't make you feel nauseous. Alright, so case number 1. Mystery and enemies is ramen. I take notes about the enemies that I fight and like which cases I'm solving, because like if you make it to the end of a run, there's some quizzes. There's like a quiz, like a question about like which enemy did you fight first or second, which case did you, and so I can't ever remember that, so I write it down. Rotten report of a rancid ramen. Out of thin air, a brand new ramen restaurant opens in town. It's adored by everyone. Once people take a bite, they can't stop. Day and night, the queues stretch out the door. The shambling customers stuff themselves dish after dish, while the blind owner sits silently behind the counter, grinning and polishing his gleaming knives. You are determined to discover what makes this ramen so enticing. What is its true power? Dog meat? Human meat? Flesh of the gods themselves? I guess we're working for the health department. Watching the local news, you spot a familiar street. It's a feature about the newest ramen shop. The food critic has a manic look as he describes the ramen. His description makes your stomach churn. Discard 2 item cards to complete this quest. I'm not doing that. We have good item cards. Let me prepare. You rummage through your belongings trying to find anything that will help you finally pick up anatomy book. Hopefully it will be enough. What does the anatomy book do? If I use it, I can use it over and over, I think. -2 stamina, but +8 experience. Okay. Maybe I'll use that in the future. You can't investigate your home. Okay, so we're gonna start investigating at the apartments. Hey, Ducky, how's it going? Thank you so much for coming by. Let me give you a shout out. How was your evening? How was your fortnight? What's going on? I wish I was playing the game that I was playing last night, but technical difficulties made me take a diversion, and we're playing World of Horror, so it's a little, horrific. But it's really interesting to me, because you're trying to solve mysteries while also surviving. It's going good, just chilling, supporting the fam. Well, thank you so much for coming by and supporting. It's always a pleasure to see you. As I was stalking you earlier today, thank you for coming out and stalking me. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to investigate these apartments. Struggling artist, Mr. 000, your neighbor is a horror manga artist who's struggling to come up with a satisfying ending for his newest story. Yep, definitely had to come stalk you a little. I appreciate it, yeah. It's always, like I said, it's always nice to see a friendly username face in the chat. You know, I do appreciate it. I just, you saw in the Discord that I this afternoon received my invitation to the affiliate, so I feel like I should be sounding more excited, but I really am excited. What am I playing, by the way? I am playing a game called World of Horror. It is a role-playing game, kind of, in the sense that you have a character, you play as different characters who are investigating mysteries as you're trying to stop the world from ending. It can be very difficult, but it's got really cool art style. I love the art style. The music is great. It's just completely my aesthetic. Yeah. Yes, I'm so proud of you. Thank you. That means a lot. I really, really appreciate that. You know, it was through the daycare Discord and people like you and other people I've encountered that have really helped push me up there, so... ooh, that looks cool as fuck. Yeah, it is pretty cool. But it's difficult, so... I mean, like I said, there's different difficulty options, so... yeah. I'm just gonna see if I can survive long enough. You're so very welcome. Thank you. What's that picture? You catch a glimpse of the painted thing. Suddenly you feel very weak and excuse yourself to leave. Something truly evil has you in its grasp. Typical. Resolve this event. Right now we are investigating a ramen shop that nobody knows what's in the ramen. And if you hear screaming in the background, that's one of my cats. He gets very jealous when I'm on any sort of call, phone call, stream, Zoom call. He makes his presence known usually, so it's not a neglected baby. I'm gonna hang out and watch you play. Good, good, good. If you have any questions, Ducky, or anybody else in the chat, if you have questions or you, yeah, I will try to answer them about this game, because I think this game is great. The full version's coming out in June. This game was created by one person. He's a dentist from Poland. And that's pretty much what I know about him. I haven't done too deep of a dive into it. Haha, my cat. Yes, I don't know what it is about these cats. They're like, oh, you want to be on the phone? Let me scream and make as much noise as possible. Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, if you have questions though or anything, let me know. I will try to answer them. You can see the restaurant through the staircase's window. You watch the door for hours but never see any of the cooks enter nor leave. Okay, so we're gonna keep investigating the apartments. There's my cute little character moving through. Kind donation. You find an envelope lying on a pillow in your bedroom. Inside is cash and a note from someone who has been watching you. They wish you luck in your task and promise to meet you soon. Just how did this envelope end up in your bedroom? So I got $2, but I lost reason. So if your stamina or your reason gets to 0, you lose the game. Also, if the doom meter gets up to 100%, you lose the game. LMAO, yes. Mine will come up and try pawing at my phone. Oh my god, yes. Yeah, my last coworkers heard me. I thought I had muted myself on one of our like weekly calls, and my cat was in the bathroom pushing shit as cats do off of the bathroom counter, and so yeah, my coworkers heard me just berating my cat. My stomach dropped, or my stomach fell out of my butt when I heard somebody say, "Oh, someone's not muted," and I like ran back to my laptop and I was like, was that by chance me? It was me. I was the one screaming like a crazy person at my cat. I was like, I've maintained a very professional demeanor for the last 2.5 years, and then towards the end of it, they all saw the real me. Alright, the only true way to investigate is to get into the restaurant yourself. Alright, we're gonna see what's in this Ding Dang Ramen. And we're going to investigate through RM Destroyer. Hey, thanks so much for the follow. How's it going? How are you? I saw you on Aaken's stream earlier. Let me give you a shout out. Thank you for coming by. Haven't been as active these last couple of weeks since you've joined up. Oh, I understand. Well, I'm glad that you're here. Thanks for coming by. And yeah, I've been part of the daycare Discord now for a month and a half. Aaken is my wife. Oh, well that makes sense then. I saw you on stream earlier. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for coming by. How is your evening going? I guess it's evening in most places. Alright. Oh, Aaken, thank you so much for the follow. How's it going? How's it going? I just learned that RM is your husband. And I was like, oh, I just saw you on stream earlier today. I'm good to answer your question, Ella. Okay, good. Yeah, I was watching, I think, were you both playing Ark earlier? Yeah. Man, I'm like, I live vicariously through you guys that play Ark. I was telling Aaken, I was like, the sharks, I can't deal with it. Oop. With these jump scares. I thought I followed you last time I was in here. Nope, no worries at all. Thank you so much for that follow. I just got my Twitch affiliate invitation. I was telling this to people earlier. I made it to the affiliate program this afternoon, evening, so I decided to come on to celebrate. I don't seem very celebratory. I'm drinking some mint tea, but I'm really glad that y'all are here, and thank you so much for coming by. Congrats on it. Thank you very much. Yeah, the daycare's been a great place to meet people, and it's been a huge part of that journey to be an affiliate. So, and I get to meet such great people. It's going good, and yeah, I was playing Ark, and good, you deserve it. Thank you. Yeah, I remember your very beautifully colored Megalodon, I believe it was, but I was still like, the sharks are gonna give me a heart attack. I don't know if y'all have seen on Twitch, but they've really been advertising the Meg 2. Not for me. Not for me. I can't deal with it. It's like Twitch is trying to kill me. These Meg 2 advertisements. While examining the ransacked room of your recently deceased friend, you discover a half-finished painting of a face hidden in the shadows. Something truly evil is getting closer. Oh, thank you so much for the bits. I'm learning. Thank you for the bits. That's awesome. I was also talking about, you are the first. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I was talking earlier. It's like I have so much research to do about emotes and setting stuff up. Oh, Ducky, thank you so much. Y'all are so kind. Thank you very much. This is my first time ever, and you all are here, a part of my Twitch history. Oh, those are so cute. Okay, getting distracted by graphics. I appreciate that. Alright, so we're getting stalked by an evil painting in this game. How's your night going? It seems that you are not the only one wanting to try for yourself. You stand in line for hours, your questions fall on deaf ears, and you're shunned. So in this game, we're investigating some... Oh, thank you so much for the subscription. Aw. That is awesome. I'm just, like, blown away by this. I don't even know what to say. A hype train is close. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm like reading all these things that Twitch is popping up at me now. It's like, I wonder, I'm gonna have to, what is a hype train? Once a hype train is underway, oh, okay. Wow. Oh, dang. Make the affiliate stream official. Thank you guys, thank you. I'm just glad that you're here. It's nice to have somebody to talk to. Oh my god. I haven't seen all those things pop up in real life when people cheer and stuff. So I'm like looking at it happening on my stream too. I'm gonna have to figure out like how to change some settings around. I was reading a lot of paperwork from Twitch email this afternoon, evening. It was a lot to read through. Of course, we're glad to come in and chat and support those who support us. That means a lot. Oh, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to investigate with my bits. You deserve it all. Y'all are making me blush. If you can't tell. Plus, it's already hot here in North Carolina, so I have the windows open. Oh, one of our cats is getting summoned for dinner. If you heard my husband in the background saying Jasper. Alright, Yasuhaka Mura. It's getting dark as you arrive at the cemetery, and shadows move in fantastic and unaccountable ways between the tombstones. Finding the right grave may prove to be a challenge, especially when you feel someone's gaze on your back. Ooh. I'm going to confront the stranger. Failure. A priest from the nearby temple asks what you were doing. When you can't make up a lie, you are thrown out and you get -1 stamina. I wish someone would summon me for dinner. I told you, just get on the highway, cruise on down to North Carolina. I don't know how to do all the southern cooking yet, but I can make some things. The smell around the restaurant is overpowering. Grease, rot, and is that blood you can smell? If you ever want help setting things up, feel free to reach out. I'll be glad to help you out. I appreciate that. Thank you. I know you mentioned that, I think, one of the last times you were here, and now that I have all the stuff to mess around with, I'm going to be taking people up on that, so thank you. I was like reading all that stuff and I was like, it's just a little overwhelming. There's so many things. Yes, most cooking is better than mine. Oh. I don't know, your pasta salad dish that you talked about, I don't know, I still want to try that. I haven't had pasta salad in a while. Down here in the south, it's all about potato salad. Which I like potato salad. You can't go wrong with potatoes. Alright. And you already know I'm always here for you. Thank you, Ducky. Gosh, you guys are always so nice. Stop right there. You hear a voice coming from behind you. You won't destroy my life's work. I'm not trying to do anything, honey. Oh my goodness, this obsessed man. Like I said, this game's a little scary. It's not like, I mean, there are some jump scare stuff, but it's not like Resident Evil type stuff. Oh, I forget who I've already told. I'd be happy to help them. I tend to offer assistance ever. Akin, that's really awesome of you though. Like, that's what I really liked about getting to know people in the Discord is like, we all have different skills, we all like different things, and you can find people you jive with, and like, that's the thing. I was like, if everybody would just stay kind to each other, you know, it would be so much better. The world would be a better place. Okay, so we're gonna slice this guy up with our scalpel. Oh, wow, we took him down in 2 hits. Alright, let's resolve that combat. Okay, so we just, I guess we were attacked in the ramen noodle line, you know. Ordering ramen's a dangerous endeavor. Ducky, you are everywhere. Like, what is it? Was it like the Visa commercials? Everywhere you want to be. It's finally your turn to order. 1 ramen, please. The owner's grin widens. Oh no. She's a hustler. One thing I'm really interested in is getting my sound alerts set up. Because I was like, what are like the copyright things for like certain sounds I want to use from like different shows or movies? I have to like research more into that. A few weeks ago, started a list of like sound alerts I want to put together. I love supporting and showing love to all the family. Yeah, I do too. It's always fun to like drop by and talk for a while, and plus when you're not playing the game, you get to just like enjoy it. Our poor little lady's all alone. Life or limb. Following the agonized screams, you discover a man with a horribly disfigured arm. Something murky and crystalline seems to explode out from the bone and up through his skin, his muscles spasming in pain. He pleads to you for help, such as, sure is a good thing you found him. Oh god. Well, we are a nurse, I believe? Let's perform surgery. I appreciate you being around and chatting everywhere. I see you everywhere, runner. Oh, there's some great places to get sound alerts from. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna dive into those. So I might be messaging y'all about getting those sound alerts. I'll never see runner in mine since I stream 5 a.m. Okay, 5 a.m. Do you know what time zone, Aurum? I was like 5 a.m. If you're on Pacific time, it'd be 8 a.m. here. If you see me at like 5 a.m. MST, so 7 a.m., okay. I was like, I could start. If you stream for a while, you'll probably still be on when I wake up. I'll just pop in and give you a howdy. Okay, we're gonna perform some surgery. Success. Yes, everybody, Silver Shadow is new to the daycare Discord, as he's saying, and I've watched his stream yesterday and today, and it's always a nice chill time. So if somehow, somewhy you're awake and so watching that early, I'd be surprised. I mostly get Euros in mind, but it's early so I can support others during the day. That's awesome, Aurum. In my mind, I want to be an early riser. So, like, you know, it'd be fun. Get up and, like, instead of watching some Saturday morning cartoons, I'll just watch your stream. Be right back. I got ads since the hubby used our Prime. Oh, okay. I forgot that I have ads now. Runner was one of my first buddies, lucky me. I stole your gamer tag, Silver. Oh, sweet. I'll follow you too. Life or limb. Okay. Working quickly but carefully. You manage to excise the protrusions before they can continue spreading. You stitch up the last gashes and escort the man to the hospital. Oh, you regained some reason and we got experience for that. The daycare is quite wonderful. I'm excited to see you around. Oh, yeah, it is. There's so many different people that play all these different games. It's amazing what a wide spread of people and games there are. Okay, well, Aachen, I hope you're back from ads. I think they're set for... I don't know. I have to look back at it. I just went with like the default settings when I set it up. Hopefully you're not getting... You're back. Okay, hopefully you're not getting Meg 2 ads. Okay, well, we successfully performed surgery on the stranger, so yay for us. The Red Bull is pushed in your face. It's so crowded that you're forced to sit on the floor. I would rather stand up and eat my ramen than sit on a floor, I think, but that's just me. No, not too many. Okay, good. If you have any feedback about like the ads or anything in the stream, y'all have been streaming longer than I have, and so I'm very open to constructive criticism. If you feel comfortable and want to send it my way, I would appreciate it. Alright, so we're gonna keep investigating. I don't mind. I did it so I can make better decisions, but I suggest no more than 1 minute each ad run, otherwise people miss so much stream. Okay, let me write that down. Ads. No. I have to look at my settings again. Yeah, I was like, Twitch was like, do you want to go with the default ad settings? So I was like, oh, sure. Make it easy for me, please, Twitch. Like, here's my social security number. You own me now. Yours was good, though. Okay. No, that's really helpful, Laura. I appreciate it. Stone statues. Experts are baffled by the sudden appearance of 20 stone statues lined up in a row in the middle of the 000 park. 000. I'm thinking of 007. 000 park. You can cast one spell without pain. Anything? Okay, cool, I guess. I don't know how yours is going because I subbed, but if you're looking for ad revenue, do a minute long and just have more ad breaks in an hour. Okay. It wasn't too many or too long, so it was good. I think I set it to where... I set something to where it was like, depending on how many people are in chat, and if they've been there before, like, it should make it reasonable. I'm going to be messing with these settings, like, for the next 23 days. With a slick hand, you fill a vial with the soup and walk out without tasting the weird dish. Okay, well that's good. At least we didn't eat sitting on the floor. Lab results. With the pulling of some delicate strings, you get the ramen into a lab. While handing over the gathered material, you hesitate. What should you send to the laboratory? Just the vial of ramen soup. A mere day later, your friend rings your door. Her face is pale, and in a shaky hand she holds an analysis sheet. You usher her in and bolt the door. You feel ill looking at the charts. While they couldn't identify some of the particles, they did discover a highly addictive drug in the broth. The ramen restaurant must be closed immediately. Oh, and if y'all are still here, I did set up a daycare Discord check-in, I believe. That should just be like 1 point. Hopefully it works. I apologize if it doesn't. But I did create that. I don't know if I set it up correct. Oh, there you go. Yay! Ramen restaurant must be closed immediately. Thank you for those check-ins. Usually what I do is I go back to my stream and I watch it on like 2x speed and I write down everybody's name. And then I go to daycare to see if they're from daycare. A week later, police and an official stand where the ramen restaurant used to be. Oh. A week later, police and an official Not an official stand. Wow. Nothing remains but a gap in the street and aimless, confused customers. Aimless, confused. Yeah, check-ins make it so much easier. Yeah, I believe so. I know a lot of people have mentioned that, so it's like, that's the first thing I should do. Get that check-in going. You'd like to believe that was the end of it, but snippets in newspapers from other cities unsettle you. Brief articles about an exciting new ramen restaurant opening and its mysterious owner keep showing up. You can no longer eat noodles without feeling ill. Well, that's sad. I love noodles. So we solved this mystery. We got 30 experience. We took Doom off the Doom clock. We regained a reason and a stamina, and 1 day passed. So, one mystery down, the old god stirs. Click here to reveal its effect. Price hike. Preparing for the worst, people are stocking up on everything, making it harder for you to find what you want. Davil. Oh, well, we have $7. Okay, so we're gonna go home. Inside your mailbox, you find a small key. What is it doing in there? Take the key. Okay, so we need to take another bath. And we're actually, shower will help you calm down and do wonders for your sore muscles. What temperature should you set it on? We'll get another XP boost because we don't need to heal anything. And our bottle's full of water. Let's change our outfit. We're gonna go with... Ooh, this tank top with this little choker. That's cute. Looking good. That's a nice movie poster. I like clicking all around the environment to see if there's any new details that have been added in. I don't know what this... I think this is from the evil painting that I somehow got following me. I don't really know what this means, though, so... We don't know what's gonna happen. Check the TV reports. Okay, people are still getting their throats slashed in the downtown area. Lovely. Take a peek outside. What's that? Probably just my imagination. Alright, time to get another mystery going. Perilous Parable of the Peculiar Painting. Bloody Brief of a Beckoning Bulletin. Let's do the coma. So in each of these mysteries, they have multiple endings. They can be like 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 endings. And depending on what you do, the choices you make and what you have in your inventory, you can get a different ending. And so the last case in this case, I have both endings. So I was like, I'm going to go with them first, see if there's anything I can get that's going to maybe unlock another ending in the other mysteries for me. The curious case of a contagious coma. More and more people fall unconscious and cannot be awakened. People trying to wake the patients up result with them falling into a coma themselves. A whole wing of the town's hospital has been dedicated for the comatose. Is there anything connecting these people, and how did this strange illness start? Alright, let's check the news reports about this weird disease and try to find the cause before more people fall asleep. And there's also side quests that are this little paper here. They're different for each mystery. Patient 0. Investigate the village location twice to complete this quest. Okay, so we're going to go to the village. We're going to investigate that sucker. Illusion shattered. You stand in the middle of the field, frozen in terror. A rip in our reality shows the horrible future of our planet. Seeing the familiar figure looking back at you, you can't help but wonder if it's our world that's just an illusion. Okay, let's go to this other world. Let's enter this portal. You and the figure get closer to the portal, ready to swap places. Where are you? Lost in time and space, you drift in nothingness until something pulls you towards the light. So what are your favorite games? Oh, man, my favorite games, so like, my go-to game that I probably play the most is the original Resident Evil 2. I love also Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Final Fantasy VII. I feel like these are very cliche favorite games, but I guess they were kind of like the first games I was more into as a younger person. I mean, I played Nintendo, like the original Nintendo when I was a kid, but I never felt like a lot of those games were my favorite because they were, in my opinion, so difficult. But I really do love this game, this World of Horror game. Wandersong, I was playing that last night. If you're into musical games that are puzzle platformers that have a really good story, Wandersong is amazing. Night in the Woods is also another great game. It's more of like a story. It's not like difficult, right? Like you're just playing through somebody's life, and the music's also really good. So I guess I'm a sucker for games with really good music, and a good story. What else have I been? I also just played the Resident Evil 4 remake, which was intense. Yeah, I like survival horror. I like RPGs, adventure. Like I said, if it's The Witcher 3, that was, to me, that was like almost like a Zelda game, but more like mature. And I loved The Witcher 3. I spent a lot of time in that game. Also, Stardew Valley. You can't go wrong with Stardew Valley. I have Stardew Valley on Switch, PS4, my phone, and the PC. I love playing it on the PC because you can do mods, and having increased running speed just makes it so much better. My brother and I started a co-op farm on Switch a couple years ago. So those are my favorite games. I guess anybody else want to chime in with what your favorite games are? I know you've been playing a lot of Ark lately, and Silver Shadow has been playing Honkai Star Rail and some Fortnite. I might try Fortnite someday. Lost in time and space, you drift in nothingness until something pulls you towards the light. The temperature abruptly drops and you shudder in the icy cold. You find yourself in the middle of a snowy wasteland. A sudden gust flings you to your knees. You inhale deeply, feeling your chest tighten and ache. Your fingers and ears are already numb and freezy. You have to move. We are going to trek the icy coast. Failure. Oops. Countless corpses of a long-gone tribe are encased in the ice. Their eyes follow your every movement, plus 5% doom. Let's check the news reports about this weird disease and try to find the cause before more people fall asleep. Okay, so we have to investigate the village one more time to complete this side quest. Oh crap, and I got frostbite. Ding dang. -2 strength. We'll go to the doctor. Professor Takeuchi. No one answers when you knock at Professor Takeuchi's door. This is odd since he's normally punctual about his appointments. The smell of blood tells you that something's wrong, and you quickly open the door and make your way inside. There's no sign of the professor, but the quantity of blood everywhere leaves little doubt as to what has happened, but how and why. Let's look for clues. Success. You notice a book lying on the floor. You pick it up to find that 4 pages have been torn out. You memorize the title of the book. Why would someone take them, and what did they contain? Plus 10 experience. LOL, I thought I responded, but nice. I don't think I've actually paid any of those, but I'm relatively new to gaming. Okay, so, well, welcome to gaming. When I was a kid, we had a regular Nintendo, and then my second console was a Sega, and then I mowed lawns for, it was like a whole summer and into the fall, and I got a Nintendo 64, then a GameCube. So I've been playing for a long time. An old man from the village hands you a package. This should help you understand the illness. Plus 1 item. Dust of scene. Okay, we're gonna go to the hospital and take care of our frostbite. Enter. You wait patiently. You still have some time before you are asked to the office. We're gonna go to the doctor's office. We are finally... Now, how can I help you today? Please cure my frostbite, honey. -1 funds. Okay. Got that taken care of. Hasty Aid. What is Hasty Aid? When receiving a combat stamina wound, replace Hasty Aid with a new... I don't want a new random injury. Oof. Alright, going to the school. Let's check the news reports about this weird disease and try to find the cause. Okay. I think I already read that. Alright, we're investigating the schoolyard. Computer room. You stumble upon the computer room. This is a good opportunity to check the school's database to look for anything that might help your investigation. Alright, let's check it out. You find a curious text file containing occult instructions. You delete it, preventing anyone from trying it. Out here saving the world. Reports mention a patient 0. Who could they be? Okay, that... Let's just go peep into this occult shop and see if there's anything worth buying. Oh my god, that is terrifying. Available items. Ritual Dagger. Ooh. Small chance of recovering reason after defeating it in Ritual Robe. Additional magic slot. A Holy Candle. +1 lock while held in the inventory. A Glass Eye. +1 perception. Ooh. Let's get a Holy Candle. Okay. +1 luck while held in the inventory. The anatomy book. I'm gonna put that into my storage for now. Nice. I got into gaming because of my husband like 2 years ago, but have since ventured out. Video games are like a different world to me because I didn't have video games growing up. I understand. Well, and hope, like, when I was a kid, there weren't that, I mean, there are games, but not as many as there are out now, and, like, different platforms to play them on, and I feel like now you have such, like, saturation of video games coming at you all the time, and you're like, I want to try that, and I want to try this, and I want to play that. So, like I said, I live vicariously through you playing Ark, and some other people playing other games. Okay, in this case was Coma. I'm taking notes on what I'm on what we're investigating. It'll help like with the end game part. Okay, investigate the downtown. Silent street. Something is wrong. You don't see anyone on the street, and you could have sworn it was crowded just a minute ago. You'd better hurry out of here. -1 reason. You have to sneak into the hospital and borrow the patient zero's information, aka steal medical records. Haha, well, I'm glad you enjoyed me playing Ark. I'm always scared people don't actually like what I play. No, like I said, you're very, like, you've been, you take time to, like, explain things and show things, and I feel like, and also, when I'm watching somebody play a game, if they're, like, into it, and, like, this is something they enjoy, like, that passion can be, like, infectious, and so you're like, oh, okay. Like, it helps you, some ways, understand that person, and, because I've also watched Heather play Ark, and Heather Lynn, I think you guys are friends. So, I'm like, I'll just watch them play. They have, like, the prettiest dinosaurs. Small cocoon. You wonder what kind of animal the spider caught in its web. You scare away the annoyed predator and rip open the cocoon to reveal a human finger. Lovely. We got a nice ring. +1 charisma, gain 2 funds. Okay, let's put on our nice ring. Oh, Heather, she's super passionate. Yeah, she was cracking me up when she was, like, she was trying to fight some beavers, I think, but there was, like, a Bigfoot around the area, and, yeah, she was cracking me up, Elena, at the dinosaurs and the animals around the dinosaurs. Alright, you've got the name and address. Let's get out of here. Let's skedaddle. Let's investigate the hospital. Casted. Walking through the hospital. Oh, we gained a level. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Improvise. Throwing items during combat encounters is more effective. Leadership +1 charisma or Folklore studies, +1 knowledge. We're gonna go with folklore studies, and we'll also bump up our dexterity. I love her. She's hilarious to watch play. Yeah, I always have a good time watching her play, because again, like I said, I learned so much, and that game seems like a lot. There's so much that's happening that everybody's trying to like organize. I was like, oh, no wonder people play together, because there's a lot to do. So when you get 100 in this game, when you get 100 experience points, you can get like a perk, which gives you like a bonus, and then you can also increase one of your normal stats. So we're getting folklore studies, which gives us a +1 knowledge, and then it gives us, like, we know various rituals and regional myths, and then we also bumped up our dexterity. Okay, dude. Walking through the hospital corridor, you are stopped by an older man with a cast on his leg. Could you help me go down these stairs? I believe there's an elevator here. We'll help the man. Success. It takes you some time, but you successfully help the man bring him a wheelchair. He thanks you and smiles, +10 experience. Well, that's nice. Okay. I figured we were going to fail that. Patient Zero's house seems empty. You should search it carefully. I guess we already stole this person's medical information. Now we're just going to break into their house and search it. Is that beeping in the game? It is part of the music. Like, right? Boop, 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 boop. Okay, it should be... I'm trying to figure out the beeping. It should go away now. It should be different beeping. So the music is like very old school Nintendo, like beep, 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 beep type stuff. Someone taps you on your back. Shari, is the bush buff still running? I'm so late for a meeting. The Bosch is going to kill me. Startled. Got it. I was like, this beeping is confusing. Yeah. If the sound levels are off, I can always turn up the music and lower my volume if it's weird or confusing sounding. Like each game I feel like has a different like level. You're always trying to get like the best settings. Startled, you quickly turn around, shocked by what you see there. Oh my god. That's gross. Tapeworm. Salaryman. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna chop you up with our scalpel. No big deal. Please go away. An old wound reopened. Oh no, we got tiny cuts. What does that do? No effect. More annoying than anything. Okay, well that's not bad. Alright, defeated him. No, it's good. I was just confused by where the beeping was coming from. I couldn't decide if it was the game or what. Yeah, I feel you. I was trying to play something earlier and I was like, is that the game or is that like my computer? Like, what is happening? What is that noise coming from? I also have the windows open, so it's like sometimes there's a lot of noise. Okay, and the beeping's back, I believe. The man dabbled in magic. He found a journal describing a certain village and instructions for a summoning ritual. It seems that he tried to contact a being from the dream realms. Alright. Sounds like a great plan. What is it? My only suggestion is to increase your mic volume. Oh, okay. I can actually... My mic volume is at maximum from what I can see in OBS. Properties. I don't know how to make it louder. I'm looking at my settings here. Maybe I should just talk louder. I just scream into the microphone. No, I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know. I know I have a soft, kind of a soft voice. Filters. Okay, I don't have any filters on either. I guess because it's late at night, I'm just whispering. Later at night. Okay. We're going to investigate this street. Exhausted. The investigation is starting to take a toll on your health. You feel like you're about to fall asleep standing up. How do you address your weakened states? Let's take a nap. The world may be falling apart, but you really needed that. Self-care. Self-care is key to stopping the world from ending. Resolve that event. The quarantine wing is guarded closely. You must find a way to sneak through. Hidden cults. Dark forces scheme against you. You don't know who you can trust anymore, plus a curse. Oh no. Panic. Minus 10% chance to all combat actions. How terrible. Alright, well, we're going to investigate this quarantine wing. I have all these little OBS things pulled up to make sure. I'm paranoid about, like I said, my stream disconnecting. Investigate the quarantine wing. Quarantine wing. You've managed to sneak through the floor, avoiding the police, and finally reach the quarantine wing, where all the coma patients were brought in. Their pulse is slowly weakening and the blood pressure dropping. You must hurry. We're going to use the Dust of Seed. Following the old man's advice, you throw the Dust of Seeing in the air. It reveals weird elongated monsters hanging from the ceiling, one above every bed. Each creature is connected to a patient with an undulating tendril. As you try to process everything, one of the disgusting creatures raises its head and looks in your direction. We're going to prepare yourself. The creature causing the contagious coma plaguing your town has taken notice of you. You must defend yourself or perish. We will not perish. Dream Devour. Oh my god. They have a lot of health. So this thing has 37 hit points. Wait, what's this? Unplug life support. The monster seems to gain its strength from the sleeping patients. Unplugging life support from one of them will weaken the monster but kills that patient. Oh my god. I can't do that. Alright, we're just gonna try to take it down the old-fashioned way. Fingers crossed, hold on to your butts. Oh boy. Oh boy, this thing's vicious. Yeah. I might unplug somebody's life support. I need to increase my reason, so I know that there's something I can do. Raises your chance to hit by 10%. No. Regain 1. Reason cost is 2 stamina. Oh my gosh. Let's do that. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. We're so close. We defeated him, but we might be dead. Since our reason's at 0. Yeah, we lost. That encounter was the final straw. Your mind has snapped and you've been locked up in an asylum. It would be comforting to accept that you are insane, that no old god is awakening to devour humanity. But the drugs haven't made these horrors disappear. Okay, we tried really hard. We didn't unplug anybody from the life support, so I feel my conscience is clean. You've perished. Cause of death unknown. Level 2, difficulty level is cultist. In this run, you've managed to solve one mystery plaguing this town. You saw 13 new events. You encountered 3 new enemies. You didn't unlock any new achievements. Okay. We tried really hard, y'all. Okay, so we're gonna go for round 2. before I dive into the next round of mysteries, I'm going to take a quick break to grab some more water. I will be right back. Thank you all for being here. I love your theme. Yeah, I was going to say it's a really cool theme. Thank you very much. I purchased this theme. I purchased different parts of it from different artists. I don't think I've seen anything like it before. It's super cool. Thank you. Yeah, I love the old aesthetic. Yeah, and it's got the solitaire thing. The solitaire stinger is what sold me. Had to pop up to get some more water. Thank you very much. I like it too, and it goes really well with this game. I'm gonna change the palette. It's flesh. Honey, jaguar. And this is probably one of my favorite things about this game is you can change the palette, so it gives it different filters. Mythos, tides, grimoire, clue, Sheba, moldy black, kind of black, old print, deep gold. That's pretty creepy looking omen. It really does. Yeah. Oh wait, oh my gosh, you know what? I didn't think I've seen these before. Skip mystery tutorial, skip playthrough, what's this? Wavy effect on off, gamepads, creepy neighbor on off, what's this? Skip card pack screen. Oh. Okay, we're gonna do a new story. So here's like all the new stuff that's come out. It's pretty helpful. So that way if you're trying to like find the new stuff, it kind of gives you some tips on how to get there. Do you play with controller for mouse or mouse and keyboard? Depending on the game I'm playing, this one you just need a mouse. So I have a mouse to point and click. But when I was playing like Wandersong, I also have my Switch connected, so I use a Pro controller for Switch. And then if I'm playing like the Dolphin emulator, which like emulates GameCube games, I use my PlayStation 4 controller. So I play with everything, whatever's easiest for the game. How about you? Do you play Ark? Do you play that with mouse and keyboard, or do you use a controller? We'll do quick play again. What's the worst that can happen? Got it. Also, I hate autocorrect. It makes me sound illiterate. Mouse and keyboard. Okay, you all play with mouse and keyboard. Yeah, I play basically everything mouse and keyboard. Gotcha. I was trying to think. I was like, so way back when I had Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, like when it came out, and I got it on computer for PC, and trying to play that game with mouse and keyboard, it was very difficult. It was not pretty. MK for me too. Okay. I need to get, so I use a laptop to play on. I have an external keyboard so I can pull it closer, because otherwise I'm like, it's the best. It's mouse and keyboard, it's the best. Only use controller for some games. I did play on console for years though, so the Switch was rough at first. Yeah, but I prefer mouse and keyboard now. I guess I just switch between, whatever the game I feel like works best with the game. If someone gave me a controller, I'd probably have no idea how to use it. Like, I really struggle with games I have to use a controller for. Yeah, I guess I hadn't thought about that. Because I know like Stardew Valley is one where you could do mouse and keyboard and also controller. And I think because I started out using controller playing that, I kept doing that even when I switched to playing it on PC. But my brother plays with mouse and keyboard, so I'm in whatever I think is going to be easiest for me, I try. But yeah, I need to hook up my keyboard so it's closer to me instead of me like lunging for my keyboard. But that's because my hubby taught me on mouse and keyboard. Oh, okay, that was that makes sense. Yeah, being taught how to use things and having that skill. I play a lot of FPS, so there's really a difference between the mouse keyboard and playing on controller. Oh yeah, so when you play like the FPS games, like if you play Fortnite with mouse and keyboard, can you use the mouse to aim and like click at the person? Is that how that works? Something strange is happening in our town. Wait. So what games? And yes, okay, yes to my question about Fortnite. You have a dot in the middle of the screen and you place the crosshair and them and click them. You mean using the controller to walk and mouse to shoot? I'm learning like the innards of first-person shooter games tonight. I'm confused what you mean, sorry. Aram, are you asking, you're asking Silver Shadow, right? Oh, you're asking me? You mean using the controller to walk and mouse to shoot? No. And like if I play Resident Evil, I just use controller, and then I'm trying to. I haven't played any first-person shooter games recently. Like, but I'm trying to think of like the one I played GoldenEye a lot when I was a kid, and you used a controller for that. But yeah, I just use controller when I emulate GameCube games. And then if I'm playing, I've been playing Stardew Valley with the controller. I haven't played that for a while though. And then when I stream from the Switch, I use a controller. If that makes sense. Hopefully I answered your question, Aurum. Aurum is easily confused. It's late. GoldenEye on N64, I played a lot of that. Okay, good. I'm glad I answered your question. I also played so much GoldenEye. I was just thinking you meant using both, but yeah. No, I can't even imagine what that would be like trying to use. I don't know if you can use the control. There's probably some kind of mod that you could use, like mouse and keyboard and controller, but I have not done that. Reality is starting to crumble. Star Rail, I think it's more of an RPG. Sorry, Silver, I feel like I'm just talking for you. But yeah, I tried Genshin for one night, and I'm gonna go back to it, but it's so much to get into, and I think Star Rail's a lot like that too. They're like meaty games. There's so much content there. The end of the world is at hand, and you finally arrived in the doomed town. Oh no. The thing forsaken by God. Banished to the other dimension long ago, Gyoizo has found a way to use mirrors to ensnare and teleport its prey straight through the glass. Glimpses of horror lurking behind your reflection are just the beginning. Oh no. Oh god. They really did this to me. So I'm playing as this character who she has this status to where if you don't have two like human people helping you out, you lose 2 reason. But she also has the 7th curse. Your family was cursed, everyone around you will die. You start the playthrough with more funds but can't have any human allies. So this is really like shooting myself in the foot. This was randomly selected by the computer, by the AI. So we'll see how long we can go in this run. So a new ally, we had a new ally that joined us, and then the curse continues to follow us, and then that ally was struck by lightning, and we no longer have that ally anymore. So this game is really doing the most to ruin our chances of winning. I'm just gonna keep everything the same. Maybe I'll try going to the police station this time and seeing if they can help me out. And the illegal den. Okay, confirm and continue. Check your mailbox, it's empty. Okay, we got an empty bottle, love that for us. Take a bath, and we'll fill up our bottle with water. So in this game, grossly enough, you can fill up an empty bottle with your bath water, and then you can drink that water to gain some health back. So I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of gross. It is gross. Like, I would never do that in real life, but I don't think I would anyway, but I don't know. Desperate times. The search for a missing person continues in the forest surrounding Shiokawa. If you have any information, please contact the police department. Alright. Do y'all have stream schedules just so I know when I can catch y'all? I do not have one set up yet, Akin. I was streaming like anywhere from 1:30 to 5 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday, but I know I'm kind of digging this evening stream. I'm just playing around with all the time so I can figure it out. But as soon as I have a schedule, I will put it on my Twitch channel. I'll probably, when I come visit you, I'll be like, here we go. You. Yeah, that's right, Silver Shadow is you. Yeah, Silver Shadow does long streams. So it's nice you can, like today I had to run out, do some errands, and then I came back and Shadow was still streaming. So we had to hang out for longer. Inside a figurine you find some money. Great. We have $9 now. Alright, we're gonna pick a mystery. Yes, love having you there, it's very nice. We're on the East Coast. Oh, no worries. I was saying I didn't have a set schedule yet. I had been trying like to do Monday through Friday afternoons, but I'm kind of digging this evening stream. I'm going to be on the field trip, the daycare field trip on Saturday. It's my first time. So we just moved, and now that we've moved across the country, we have a lot of friends coming to visit us, and so I've been busy a lot of weekends. Yeah, I'm excited. Excited, also a little bit nervous. I've never done anything like that before. I was having a heck of a time trying to raid out to another channel last night. I kept trying to do the @ before the person's username. I raided to Miss Ducky last night. So... Oh, y'all moved across the country? Yeah, we moved from Seattle to North Carolina, so very far apart. You'll be great, just be yourself. Aw, thank you. I plan on it. So it'll be cool. I think it's gonna be great energy. Excited to see other streamers and I don't have any plans this weekend, which was even better. I don't have to be like, I can't do it, or try to figure out. So we're gonna hang out all day and watch some streams and support each other, and we're gonna make sure I have lots of snacks ready. I really want some popcorn. That sounds really good, actually. Household hell. Oh, we already did the ramen. Let's try some. Let's try this. Wishes versus of a violent vigil. Oh, you'll be fine. They're super interactive on the field trip, so it'll be great. Oh my gosh, Heather, hi. Hi, Heather. I was just talking about you earlier. How's it going? I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for coming by. How are you? Did that work? Oh gosh, hold on. Sorry, Heather. It's my first day. Speak of the devil and they arrive. It's going well playing Ark. Okay, awesome. Nice, we're in Idaho, so I know that's a long move. I drove through Idaho many times. So when I lived in Seattle, my brother lived just north of Salt Lake, so we would make that drive like probably a couple times a year to visit him, because it's an 11-hour drive. So it's not terrible, but yeah. Oh, I love your dancing dog thing. Thank you so much for coming by, Heather. Yeah, we were talking about you and Ark and daycare, and how I've been watching you and Aachen playing Ark and learning about Ark. So okay. Violent vigil. You've received an official-looking letter. What does a law firm from Tokyo want from you? I hope the field trip goes well for you this week. And thank you. It's gonna be great. Everybody was allaying my nerves, so, or soothing my nerves, because I'm like, I haven't ever done that before. All we do is play Ark. It seems very addictive. Like, part of me is like, maybe I could play that someday. We regret to inform you of the passing of our client and your granduncle. His funeral will be preceded by an overnight vigil as per the client's request. There's an address in the list of people expected to arrive. You don't recognize any of the names. Intrigued, you decide to check it out yourself. What's the worst thing that could happen? I ask myself that every day. What's the worst thing that could happen? Oh, those corgis are so cute. And yeah, we drive down to SLC all the time. Oh, that's awesome. Those are some really beautiful, it's really beautiful scenery. I think the first time, yeah, I live and breathe and play Ark. Y'all should be spokespeople for Ark. The first time we ever went to visit my brother in around Salt Lake, we did a float trip. And I thought it was going to be like a relaxing float trip. You sent biddies? Oh, those are biddies. Thank you. Thank you. It is very addictive, especially when you find the dino you love. Then you just want an army of them. Aw, hey Bakio Kami, how are you doing? Thank you so much for coming by. First time chat. Thank you to this lovely Streamlabs OBS for letting me know. You need to set up sounds when you get biddies. I do. Yeah, I do. I was just I was like, I got that invitation this evening. So I was like reading a whole bunch of stuff and trying to figure some things out. Oh, Heather, I did get a daycare Discord check-in, so you can check in. Let me give you a shout out. Bakio Kami, if that's okay. You were recently playing Grounded. Oh, okay. I watched another streamer play Grounded. Yeah, I don't have any sounds set up. I was like, I gotta go into research. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for coming by. I hope your evening is going well, if it's evening where you are, or afternoon or daytime. I haven't streamed since December. Doesn't even stream. He hasn't played Grounded in a long time. Oh, okay. Y'all know each other. Grounded looked really cool. I was like, this is like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which I love that movie. Well, welcome in. Thanks for coming. Heather is my right. Oh! Aw. Look at you awesome married couples out here hanging out. Thank you. That is so awesome that you all hang out and know each other. Have you all met in, well, I was like, I'm gonna ask really personal questions, like, have you all met in real life, and or did you meet each other like through Twitch? If you feel comfortable answering that question. I met Bakio Kami and I'm now stuck with Heatherlyn. We want to. We don't get to hang out. Haven't met yet. Okay. But we want to eventually. That's so cool. Aw, that makes me so excited to keep streaming and meeting people. Yeah, we moved to, we haven't met in real life. We moved to a small town in North Carolina, so it's very different than Seattle. And thankfully my husband's family is from here, so we know. And then my brother and his wife just moved out to the area, so we know some people, but it's very different than going out to events in Seattle and meeting people. Even during COVID, I guess, and after COVID and whatever, but life. He met me first, don't let him lie to you, runner. I'll just be like, all these people know each other, they seem really kind, I'm happy that you're here. Did you say earlier you were in Seattle? Where are you now? Yes, I lived in Seattle for almost, let's see, it was like 3.5 years. I used to live in North Carolina, beautiful place. Yeah, so now I'm in Western North Carolina, and it is very quiet here. We went from living close, like, next to downtown Seattle. We lived next to the International District in Seattle. Nice, yeah, the trees look pretty. Yeah, it is very beautiful here. It's very green. You don't have to stand in line when you want to go hiking. Things here are very inexpensive. I don't have as many food options, and there's not public transportation, so same, I lived on the western side. Oh, awesome, yeah. That's so cool. It's beautiful here. So since we moved here, we've taken our cat canoeing a couple of times. Thanks for the hydrate. That's the first hydrate that anybody has ever redeemed. So cheers to you, Heather. I'm drinking a key lime LaCroix. No wine for me tonight. I had plenty of wine. We had my mother-in-law. Oh my god, that's a lot of hydrates. Okay. I'm just gonna finish this can. I had my mother-in-law and my in-laws over for Mother's Day on Sunday and cooked them dinner and had a lot of wine. So I was like, I like a glass of wine in the evening. But it hit me yesterday morning. I was like, oof. By the way, another tip, hydrate needs to cost 500 plus. Okay. I think I just went with the default everything for like the rewards, so I appreciate the tips. Or I'll be spamming. A low hydrate is dangerous with arm around, otherwise you'll drown yourself. Unless you want to drink forever. No. I drink this and it makes me, it's the sparkling water, so I feel like I have to burp all the time, and I'm trying not to like burp in people's ears. But thank you very much for the hydrates. I will be very, very hydrated when I wake up in the morning. Don't feel ambushed, we're all in here. It's really nice having you guys to talk to, all of you. I love sparkling water. Burp, do it. That's your penalty for drinking sparkling water. Okay, so I drink just my regular water, like nonstop. And every once in a while I'm like, I need some flavor. I hate sparkling water. Posture check. Okay. God. Yeah, okay. So I don't have the most comfortable gaming chair. I showed this, I think, last night. But this is my posture pillow. It's Anna Nicole Smith. A friend of mine sent me this pillow for my birthday a few years ago, and it's what I use to keep my posture correct. You know, there is flat flavored water. You mean like sparkling water, but it doesn't have any flavor. Or also all in a Discord call, so they're teaming up. Oh. Y'all are having the most fun tonight. Flat flavored water, meaning it doesn't make you burp because it's not like bubbly. I get it. No, there's normal water, non-sparkling, that is flavor. I get it now. It took me a minute to get there, Aurum. If you ever want to hang out with us on Discord, you can, lol. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Like propelled. Okay. Y'all seem like you're having a really fun time. That way you don't have to drink TV static. I like the static. I want it to burn. Oh, we are. Oh, man. So how long have you all known each other? Like I said, I ask questions and I'm like, oh, that's personal. So please, if you're like, I don't want to answer that, don't. I turn into a party mom. You get a lot of these dummies picking on each other. Okay, but yeah, one of my favorite things, I don't know, like 3 months, about 5 months now. 5, sorry. We've known each other since January. Okay. That's awesome. I guess it is the middle of May already. I love the jump scare ones. I don't know if I ever want to do that to myself, but I'm so sorry. We're all just talking. No. This is really nice. Not even playing Ark right now. Apparently we can't decide who will respond. The arrival at the mansion. Following the directions from the letter, you slowly fight your way through the overgrown forest path. The old mansion looks like it was torn down and rebuilt many times, but where is everybody? We're a fun bunch. Oh, thank you for the bits, Baki Okami. I said that right? The bits, the cheers. We're a fun bunch, even though Aurum is a meanie head. No problem. And yes, the bits. I hear people call them biddies. Biddies too. The cheers, the bits. On here it calls them bits. I feel you've played a total of 5 minutes and chatted the other 1.5 hours. Y'all are giving me someone to chat with. Biddies. Biddies. Basically they are bits. Bitties. Bites. But people like calling them biddies. Biddies. If you want to play more, tell us and we will shut up and watch the game. No, this is great. Like I said, y'all are fun to talk to. It's nice having people in here. Usually it's just me talking to myself and the cats. And then sometimes my brother will call and we'll chat. Oh yeah, we can totally shut up and watch. No. We can keep chatting. Is this a scary game? I don't even know what you're playing or the premise. This is kind of a scary game. It's a horror RPG, so basically you can play as a different character and you are trying to stop the world from ending. And in some ways it reminds me of like Oregon Trail. Like random events happen and you're just trying to survive basically and stop the end of the world from happening. But it's not scary like in Phasmophobia or like a Resident Evil type way. Like the combat is like a turn-based RPG combat. So scary stuff happens and there's some kind of gruesome, gory stuff. So content warning if you don't like that. I mean, it's not like realistic. It's all in this art style. But the man that created this game, one person created this game and did all the art and everything. And he's a dentist from Poland. And apparently in Poland, they study anatomy a lot when, I guess they're in dental school. So a lot of like some of the stuff that happens is very anatomically correct. Do you only play horror games? No. I was actually playing basically the complete opposite of this game last night. It's called Wandersong. It is a musical adventure puzzle game. And it's very whimsical. It has a really happy story. But I streamed that through on my Switch, and my Switch, for some reason, the sound was off. And so I uninstalled the software and I went to reinstall the Elgato software, and their website is like, we're under maintenance. So I was like, okay, just gonna shift gears and play the complete opposite. I'm glad you are enjoying all of us being here. It is really nice to have some company. Do you like musicals? Switch streaming is tough. I do like musicals. I'm trying to think of... I was like, I haven't seen one for a while. But, you know, if a game has good music and a good story, I'm into it. I love musicals. Yeah, so Chicago was just here in our town. What's your fave musical? Oh, man. I'm trying to think if I have one that I like. Okay, so probably my favorite musical for nostalgia, because it reminds me of my grandma, is The Sound of Music. We would watch that like I want to say like every Easter and Christmas at my grandma's. We would watch The Sound of Music together, and it just reminds me of her and being at her house. And she was a great cook, so she'd always make really good food and dessert, and we would watch Sound of Music. So it's a very like special place in my heart. I've seen Les Mis and Lion King, the play that went to LV in High School Musical. That's about it. That's my fave. I've been there. I guess Sound of Music, if that counts too, then I've walked where they... You've been to Austria? I don't know if you guys know Complete Thor from the Daycare Discord. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. But he is in Austria. And so I'm always like, have you watched Sound of Music yet? Do you know Edelweiss yet? I try not to be too obnoxious. That is so cool, Aachen. That is really, really cool. Cheers to Sound of Music. Yeah, I know him, and we have talked a bunch about him. That's cool. So I have not seen the Lion King musical. In high school, I was also a little bit obsessed with Phantom of the Opera. And Austria. Aachen loves Austria. That is really cool. I would love to go there. There's a lot of places I want to go to. We just went to Iceland last year, and so we travel with one of my best friends. We travel for our first time as a group. We went to Iceland together, and so now we're trying to pick our next international vacation. Oda, yeah, Phantom is a great one. Def, my favorite. Yeah, I was listening to Phantom of the Opera this weekend. Many people only know The Sound of Music because of us Americans. Yeah, I thought so, because his fiance is usually on the stream too, and she's from Germany, I believe. And so he asked, he was like, have you seen Sound of Music? She's like, no. And I was like, okay. But it's a great musical, and Phantom's awesome. I did get to see Wicked. When I was living in Kansas City, Wicked came through, and I got to see Wicked. I also really liked the book, Wicked. Rent. When I was a kid, I was in a musical. I was in a few musicals. I was in Anne of Green Gables. Dude, I love Wicked. I know Popular from Wicked, and that's it. Man, okay, so Wicked, if you like to read books, it's not too far. If you like to read books, Wicked is a great book. It's different than the musical, but the musical's also great. Oh yeah, go visit Salzburg for the Sound of Music nostalgia, then go visit Hallstatt. It's not too far from Salzburg. Okay, I might have to put that on our list for next year. We're trying to figure out where we're going to go next year. I was leaning toward Portugal, but Austria might now be pushing up there. We're aiming to go international trip every other year. So, and each of us, so like, my friend picked Iceland, so I'm picking the next one. So we're just like, we're taking turns picking where we want to go. Man, you guys are awesome. You love musicals. Do you both work? Yes, yeah. We work, we play. We go to the grocery store. So, also, wait, I don't know if you said you were married earlier or if that was you reading. Yes, I am married. I've been married in September, it will be, I'm trying to do math in my head, it'll be 7 years in September. I will give you a long list of places to visit in Austria. Okay, yes, please do. That would be awesome. because I also feel like that's the way to do it, is if someone you know has been there, or if somebody you know lives in that country and they can guide you around. Go visit Cancun. It's way awesome. I know a bunch of dope things to do. Okay, well, I flew into Cancun in November to go down to, what's that resort called? I went to an all-inclusive resort. We've actually been to this all-inclusive resort twice, and it's beautiful, and lots of food and drinks. I also really liked Les Miserables. Les Miserables, okay, so I haven't actually seen Les Miserables on stage. I saw the movie version, and I enjoyed it, but I was like, man, this is, I don't know, I feel like there's something different when you watch the stage and it's a very long production. I liked the music a lot, but I would really like to see Les Mis performed on stage instead of just seeing the movie version. But I was like, I appreciate how like the movies are getting musicals to more people. My school did it in high school, and it's a very long one. Yeah, it is a very long one. That's pretty awesome that your school did it, though. Like, that seems like a very dedicated. It's like my high school, they did like Godspell. I'm trying to remember. Oh, we also did Anything Goes. I love Austria and Switzerland and Germany, and I can't wait to go back and visit one day. Living over there for 18 months was not long enough. That's the way to do it. 18 months so you can take your time and see things, and that is so cool. And living vicariously through you and imagining what that would be like. Y'all are really interesting with your travel, your love of musicals. I'm like, what are my other favorite musicals? It was like, I also have some, like, I guess, Disney musicals, Disney movies that I loved growing up too. Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that. It's an old musical movie. I'm surprised they haven't made it into a stage show, but I think it has a lot of, like, there's a part where it's animated. It's like live action plus animated. It would be a little difficult. It's a crazy place to live. Like, crazy in a good way, or just crazy because there's so much to see and do. And I mean, I feel like if you wanted to see it, you know, if you wanted to see so much, you would be stacked for all that time you were there to see all the wonderful things you could see in those different countries and cities. All of the above. I'm going to be dreaming about traveling tonight. So that's something always nice to look forward to or think about. Go visit. And now I'm thinking about the beach where I was at that resort, Orem. Have y'all ever been down to Key West, Florida? That's a local trip we're talking about taking maybe this fall. Bolivia is a place that's cool to visit, but not much to do. So if you're going to do South America, do many countries in a long trip. Okay. Only been to Tampa and Miami. Yeah, Key West. So Key West, yes, I've been to Key West. I loved it there. When we went, we basically just parked our car and then walked everywhere for the few days that we were there. I want to go back, and I want to go down to the Dry Tortugas National Park and snorkel there. I've been to Bradenton, Sarasota, St. Pete Beach, and Orlando. Okay, so you've been exploring some Florida too. Farther south I have been is Nepal, Florida? Naples, Florida? Nepal, Florida? I wouldn't be surprised. Do it. Yes, that is something I'm planning to do. Yes, Naples. Okay. I was like, I've heard of Naples, Florida. Aachen, I was telling Aachen, I was watching Aachen play Ark earlier, and there's the Megalodon. So I'm terrified of sharks. I've snorkeled twice. The first time I went snorkeling off of Catalina Island in, south of California, off the coast of California. Anyway, they make you sign like a release waiver that's like, I will not sue if I'm attacked by hazardous marine life. And oh my god, when I was snorkeling, I was like, I gotta get in the middle of the people so that way if something comes up, it's gonna get them first. I've got a travel bug and can't get enough of it. I understand that. Like, Catalina snorkeling is so much fun. Yeah, it was beautiful. I also went snorkeling in Iceland. We went snorkeling between the tectonic plates. There's the Silverfrost fissure that's in Iceland, and The water it's crystal clear. I mean, it was freezing cold, but it was so beautiful. Orem is from Southern California, so he knows all about it. That's awesome. I was actually born in Southern California. I was born in a town called Lancaster. My dad worked for Air Force, part of Boeing, so my parents had friends still in LA and San Diego, and we would go out and visit probably like it wasn't very often because that was a big trip, you know, from because I grew up in Kansas. And that was in San Diego was my first earthquake that I remember being in. I woke up on a couch and was like, shh. It's like, oh my God. And then Kansas started having earthquakes. So that's cool. Y'all have really good information. I keep staring at the chat. Drinking my water, making sure my posture's good. I appreciate that posture check. I'm always like rolling my shoulders, stretching my neck. A friend of mine was like, you should stretch your neck by making it look like you have double chins and just holding it for a second. So you like pull your head back and stretch. We could talk for days. Yeah, well, I look forward to talking more on your streams and catching all of you. Or like I said, I'm going to have to set that alarm. It's like, maybe I'll catch the tail end of it. I don't know how long you stream for. Some people stream for a very long time. That's actually a great way to stretch. Yeah, excuse me, sparkling water. I do that all the time. So my friend and I will send each other Snapchats, like doing our neck stretches, and it's us with our double chins out, like. It's beautiful. He's normally on for 2 to 3 hours when he streams in the morning. Oh, okay, perfect. Like I said, I want to be a morning person. I worked at Panera Bread in high school and some of college, so I would have to be at work at, depending on if I was opening, I'd be there at 5:30 or like 6 in the morning. Usually half asleep. It was kind of nice working the early mornings because I was half asleep for like a quarter of the shift. And then by the time I woke up, I was like, okay, I can do this. We can get through this. Panera people. I still have nightmares sometimes that I'm working at Panera again. Not that there's anything wrong with working there. It was just, I had a crazy trainer when I started there. She was not very kind. And I was like, I don't want to keep doing this, but I had to work. Yeah, anyway. I'm only a morning person right now because of the new baby. Oh yeah, I bet. I hope you guys are getting enough sleep. My husband's best friend had twins back in December, and we went to visit them, her family, in March, and we stayed with them and stayed in the same house with them and the twins. And I was like, how do they do it? Hello, sleep, what is that? Yeah. When I was younger, I'd always be like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. And now I'm like much older and I'm like, where did I even think, like, why did I even think that was something cool to do? She used to be a morning person until she married me. I gotcha. I'm gonna click some of this, but I'm still reading the chat. I became a night owl because I love being a night owl. Now I get no sleep. She loves it. I love just being awake at night and like reading my books and watching streams or watching YouTube, going down YouTube rabbit holes. But that's a big change, Akin, to go from being a morning person to being a night owl. Resolve this event. Dilapidated corridor. I love being a busy person. Well, that's good. I know there's sometimes when I'm feeling like I'm not busy enough. And I was like, I think in a lot of ways that was my personality of like, you know, growing up and like I need to constantly be doing something. And then there's times when I'm like, I love being busy too, because it's like you experience so much more. You talk to so many more people, you get to do so many new things. Plus if you get to travel. Like that's maybe when I'm my busiest, is if I'm in a new place, traveling, exploring things. 4 actions on the right allow you to investigate the location and interact with it. Okay, so who is this person? Hawado, weird fiction writer. Pair standing next to a window. The man is muttering something to himself while his wife is observing you with her unnaturally bulgy eyes. Busybody, and it's great. That's perfect. The body is laid in the master bedroom. You should pay him your respects. Okay, thank you. I will. You are here. Okay, explore the mansion. Eyes in the dark. You feel watched. Oh, dang it. I had the holy candle. No, I had a blessed candle or something. Retreat. You retreat from the room. -2 reason. Y'all, I don't think we're going to live much longer in this game. Pressing a handkerchief to your nose, you enter the dark room. There's no way they allowed your grand uncle to just lie here. What was the correct bow and clap order? Maybe other guests will know. Okay, so... Gross. I was gonna check the... Oh, here we go. So I have my YouTube Stream Manager pulled up so I can check stuff there, but then also Streamlabs OBS for the performance metrics. Maybe I should just have both. There we go. I'm still figuring out like where to put everything with my mini screens. As you return to the corridor, you notice another family member has arrived. You notice all guests are studying small cars. You should ask them about it. What is on your card? What's that? Scarred thug. A muscular man is eyeing you as you take a step towards him. You can't help but notice a deep scar going across his cheek. You didn't get this with the letter? Here, take mine. What did you give me? Vigil pamphlet. Okay. I'd like to thank you on behalf of the client for participating in this vigil on such short notice. He was a spiritual person and left instructions we are asking you to follow closely. 9 p.m. started the vigil. Pray over the body. Clap, bow, bow, clap. They're gonna eat dinner at 11 p.m. Good gracious. I guess if they have to stay up until 5 a.m. I'm gonna stay up till 5 a.m. and catch Orum's stream. Okay, so what time is it? It's 10 p.m., so that means it's time to pray over the body, right? Yes. Clap, bow, bow, clap. Inspect his foot. Clap. Bow, bow, clap. Oh god, did we... You think you got the order right? You've already copied the tattoo. Okay, so he has a tattoo on his toe. That sounds really painful. The bottom of your toe. Okay, we're going to the dilapidated corridor. As you return to the corridor, you notice another family member has arrived. I've already talked to you. Okay, I've talked to you. So I guess I have to explore the mansion. Oh my gosh, it's already almost 11:30 here. Your reflection twists and shimmers when you're not looking at it directly. Gyoizo is getting closer. Resolve this event. All family members are cautiously eyeing the smelly dishes placed on a table in the corner of the room. The guest seems strangely uninterested in this vigil. You should explore more and learn what you can. Okay, but 11 p.m. is a modest supper. Let's check out this. Let's check out the storage room. You shudder instantly, recognizing the room from a newspaper photo. 3 years ago, a man hanged himself here. Why is the vigil held in a place like this? That's a great question. Check the wardrobe. We got a meat cleaver. Extra damage against human and monster enemies. Oh yeah, we're definitely equipping that. Going to the corridor. Check out the supper. The smell is nauseating, but you put some meat on your plate. +1 item. Long pig steak. Okay, that's people. We're not going to eat the people. Smells delicious. Maybe. Inspect. It smells incredible. Okay, we're going to explore this mansion. The round window of the Crooked Manor Tower is calling you. You feel your strength drain away as you stare at the bright light. Let's get lost in the light. Oh, I got +1 reason. Oh no, we got sucked into another world again. A parasitic star is looming over the dying civilization. Is this the fate of our planet as well? We're going to enter the destroyed temple. Failure. Inside a decaying nave, you find a keepsake from the ancient world. Countless skeletons and corpses have shriveled in the arid air. -3 stamina. It's midnight, you should go and pray. Is that what we're supposed to do? Pray over the body, bow, bow, clap, bow. Okay. I'm gonna go pray over this body. What's this? A study. It seems that someone has already removed all the furniture from this room. The overgrown plant is casting an unsettling shadow. The body, it's missing. Typical. Typical. Still here, but I figured I'd let you get a little further in the game. Thanks so much, Alkin. Yeah, no, I appreciate you being here, and I was like, oh wow, it's already almost 11:30. Talking with you guys has made time just fly by. So the body's disappeared. That's not good. Storage room, nothing in here. Study, the overgrown plant. Okay, so is this person coming back as a plant? Okay, we're going to look for everybody, I guess, since they abandoned us. You enter a room full of wooden statues. You're amazed by how realistic some of them look. So realistic, in fact, that you could have sworn one of them blinked. Pillar vampire. Oh my god. Gross. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna survive. Yeah, I figured it. We took you away for quite a bit. I'd let you progress. Oh. No, it's been great. Like I said, I'm just like having a great time chatting with all of you and reading and learning about you. And your travels and your interests and the games you play and how you all know each other. It's pretty cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, vampire. Living in the walls. We're gonna burn this place down. Alright, we defeated the vampire. You managed to find one of the guests. They are shaken but otherwise safe. You both decide to get the hell out of this place, but the door is gone. Of course it is. What are we supposed to do at 1 a.m.? ... Okay. Who's that? Oh, it's these people. Anything new in the bedroom? Storage room? Nothing. Study? Alright, so I guess we have to keep exploring. I'm still here too, just sleepy and watching I've heard of wall weasels, but not wall vampires. Hey Arch, how's it going? Yeah, you got some new things up in here. Welcome in, welcome in. We're playing some World of Horror. I give a shout out to everybody who comes in, so. How is your evening going, or your day? What are wall weasels like? In the mirror, you catch a glimpse of something that shouldn't be there. Have you ever seen World of Horror before? I guess is a great question to ask. Resolve this event. Corridors twist and turn, trapping you in this mansion. You think you can hear the other guests somewhere, but should you risk getting lost yourself? Also, Silver, I don't know, I read your message, I'm still here too, just sleepy and watching. So, I hope you get some sleep soon. But thanks for being here and hanging out still. It's getting late out here on the East Coast. Alright, 2 a.m. What are we supposed to do? Feed blood. Feed the plant and the study with blood. Sure. We have a Little Shop of Horrors. Oh, you know what? That's another musical. Little Shop of Horrors. I haven't had a Junji Ito look and got curious. Yes, this game is heavily inspired by Junji Ito. It's like a survival horror RPG. There's some combat, which you saw. You play as different characters, solving different mysteries. Little Shop of Horrors. I should enunciate more clearly. Little Shop of Horrors. But yeah, Arch, you should... this game is a lot of fun. Oh, sorry. No, it's... I mean, Little Shop of Horrors might be a musical. I haven't seen it before, but it could be interesting. I was like, I guess there was the Best Little Whorehouse of Texas. I think Dolly Parton's in that. So yeah, Arch, we're talking about musicals, and we are trying to survive some horrific events happening to us. So welcome in. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any questions about the game, I will do my best to answer them. Okay, it's these people who are still here. Pillar of Doom. The whole building begins to shake as you enter the room. Suddenly, a stone pillar bursts through the floor where you stood just seconds ago. Noticing the arcane symbols painted on the stone, you take a step closer. My dexterity is low. My knowledge is low. You know, let's just touch the stone. What's the worst that could happen? Failure. Failure is the worst thing that can happen. When you reach out to touch the stone, you're shocked at how hot the surface is. It burns your fingers. -2 stamina. Love that. Resolve this event. You stumble upon Sotomura, fiercely scratching his scar. With each motion, he gets a little deeper. With each motion, more blood appears. With each motion, he takes a step towards you. Love it, love it. Sotomura, are you okay? Girl, we gotta get you to the dermatologist. I'm gonna chop you up with my meat cleaver. It's nothing personal. Alright, ooh. That guy looks whack. Yeah, he's, I think a little bit under the weather. That's why I was like, so this is a horror game and it's a little bit scary. It's got some graphic gore. As the vigil is nearing its end, the whole mansion shakes more and more until the walls starts to collapse, revealing the shocking truth about your whereabouts. Oh my god. Walls of the corridor collapse, revealing an alien landscape. You can taste blood in your mouth as the slimy appendages slowly get closer. A voice in your head tells you what to do. 4 a.m. ... Sacrifice the guest? Where are you? No? Can I explore I don't want to sacrifice anybody. Can I escape? I can't explore the mansion. So it looks like we have no choice but to sacrifice the guest. I can't. Yeah, none of these things are doing anything else. It's like maybe there's something in the environment I can click that will help us. But nope, we gotta sacrifice. Sorry, dude. An unseen force leads your hands. You reach for a knife and stab a surprised guest. Sorry. Don't invite me to your parties. Now what? Conclude the ritual. Okay. Death cheated. The price is paid. A voice booms in your head as everything gets dark. When you wake up, you find yourself lying on the wet grass, the old mansion nowhere to be seen. Standing next to you is a naked, bloated old man. You recognize a tattoo on the man's toe. It's your deceased granduncle. Came back from the grave. With a coarse voice, he explains the ritual. You try to keep up with him, but you're weak and your head spins. The death toll must remain the same. 2 die and 2 survive. You feel like vomiting. As the old man who has cheated death disappears behind trees, everything gets dark. The man who you thought was your uncle has cheated death, making you an accessory to murders. We didn't sign up for this. You know police officers won't believe you when you tell them the truth and do your best to forget the nightmares you left behind. Oops. Sorry, everybody. The old god stirs. Click here to reveal its effect. Winds of plague. A weird epidemic keeps staff at the hospital busy. Skipping the line will cost you more. Oh my. I guess I can drink my water. In the game. I'm drinking my water in the game. Alright, inside your mailbox you find a small key. We're gonna snatch that key. Take a bath, and let's bump up our... We're gonna get more water. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Silver Shadow. Cheers. Let's bump up our reason. There we go. Change our outfit. Yes, no. Okay, what's new on the tube? A minor earthquake in the seaside region has revealed an entrance to a partially flooded cavern system. Local scientists believe some in the corridors could be man-made. Okay, let's investigate a new mystery. We'll do the household hell. That sounds pleasant. Stretch. Oh, thank you. That's a good stretch. I should get up and stretch. I don't know what that looks like, but I was like, I'll just do more of a full body stretch. Thank you for that. There are many old mansions around this town. 000 Manor is one of them, supposedly haunted by the family of 4 who disappeared without a trace one summer, but is it the only tragic event that took place there? Friends you've talked with are not sure where the mansion itself is located. You have to find the mansion first. A trip to the library may shed some light on it. Investigate the seaside location twice to complete this quest. We'll go to the seaside. Let's go to the illegal den. I never go there. Let's see what illegal things we can buy. A wine bottle. Cursed cartridge. Champagne. A meat cleaver. Okay. Let's buy a cursed cartridge. That sounds cool. I'm gonna go to the hardware shop too. I'm gonna get a flashlight. Trinket slot C. We're going to put it in our trinket slot, and then we're going to put our flashlight. We're going to equip that as well. So flashlight gives you +1 perception, so it bumps it up, and you can use it to light up dark areas, obviously. Imagine that, the flashlight lights up dark areas. Okay, and we still have to investigate the seaside twice to complete this side quest. Crab feast. Crabs are feasting on a bloated corpse carried to the beach by waves. We're going to... Let's search the body. Ooh. Reaching for the body, you're attacked by several crabs that don't want to share their meal, and they snatch 2 stamina from me. Little assholes. Walking on the beach, you discover a giant charred pit. As you wonder what was burned here and why, you hear a crackling sound getting louder, and everything around you is getting hotter. Burning Man. This is not the Burning Man I've heard about before. And it's a ghost, so we have to sever their ties to our world. He hits hard. Oh boy. Okay. We defeated Burning Man and we got a burn. And we got something else. Corpse dust. Corpse dust, corpse dust. You've learned the cliff the mansion was built on is famous for its extensive cave system. You've decided to rent some books that might help you. Okay. Architect's journal. One house owner, however, decided to make use of the cave tunnel. It's a natural concert hall, he claims. Hey, Comet. How's it going? Welcome in. I like that animated emoji. It reminds me of someone like squishing a pat of butter. How is your night going? How was your stream today? We're playing some World of Horror, trying to survive. I don't know if it'll last much longer. Our health is at 9. It is steadily going down. Corpse dust. Plus 20 experience, minus 2 luck. I'm gonna put that in my storage. Gonna get this newspaper article out. An article covers a group of scientists from Tokyo. They were exploring and mapping weird cave formations found in the cliffs. The search of the missing team of scientists continues. The only clue so far is a code written on a cavern wall, 420 hertz. I can write that down. Put that in our storage. Put this in our storage. You only have, depending on what items you have, you normally only have 4 like item slots, so I try to keep it cleared out. Okay, so we've done our side quest. Now we can... Oh, we're investigating the school. I don't know what I'm doing. School kitchen. You enter the kitchen. Even though it's abandoned and the lights are off, something is cooking in a large pot. You don't like the smell of it. We need a first aid kit. We are beat up. Failure. You can't find the first aid kit anywhere. Could it have been moved somewhere else? It's just awful. The building was supposed to be somewhere near the cliffs. You copy the mansion's photo from the newspaper and prepare to leave. Alright, we're gonna go downtown. 410 billion. Alarmed by the sound of glass breaking, you discover the corpse of a policeman lying in a pool of blood. It looks like someone or something tore out his throat. Let's snatch his gun. No. I'd have to get bullets for it. Let's check his wounds for clues. They didn't tear out his throat, but instead carved an occult symbol with something sharp. You try to remember the shape and escape before anyone arrives. Okay, and we leveled up. That's awesome. Occult signs. Small experience bonus for casting spells. We don't have any spells. Plus 1 luck. Leadership. Let's go with the luck and bump up our strength. I always seem to go for like well-rounded stats. Alright. Comparing different mansions with the sketch, you finally find the one. There's only one problem. You will need a strong rope to enter the mansion through the high window. I bet we could get that at the hardware store. Suddenly, the air around you begins to whirl. A supernatural wave of freezing wind is approaching. Brace yourself. Oh, we got a success on a strength check. That's very surprising. The sudden blizzard disappears as fast as it began. You leave the beach quickly, and we got 5 experience points. Hooray! You make it through the window. This is the abandoned mansion your friends have talked about. let's explore it. Let's go ahead and drink our water. That'll give us a little bit of our stamina back. The investigation can wait. A hot bath is too inviting. I don't know about y'all, but when I'm investigating someone's mansion, I decide to take a bath. Take a bath. You bathe happily and continue with newfound strength. You've heard a weird noise coming from the locked study. You must find a key. Check out the overgrown seamstress story. There's a local legend about a heartbroken seamstress. One stormy night, she broke into a local inn and stitched the unsuspecting guests together, her final gruesome artwork. But that's just a legend, right? Night Runner, I gotta get to bed. Have a good rest of the stream. Thanks for everything. Good night, Silver. I was like, Silver Shadow. Thank you so much for being here. I will probably see you tomorrow or sometime soon. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you sleep well. And yeah, glad that you've been here. Okay, and I see you with that hydrate. Good thing I have all these bottles and cups of water in front of me. Let's rifle through this cupboard. Oh. I guess there is a little bit of a jump scare in this game. Inside the cupboard, you find a sewing kit and decide to leave the room before any legends spring to life. Sewing kit. It gives us 3 stamina, but it takes away 1 of our charisma. Shouldn't you ask a doctor to do it? Oh boy. I don't want to have to stitch myself up. That sounds difficult and painful. This must be the place where the key is. Countless spoons fly out of a cupboard when a ghastly figure materializes in the middle of the room. Oh my gosh, these ghosts are really coming after me tonight. Rumu ghost. Alright. Gotta take her out. Spiritual actions. We're gonna sever her ties to the world. Oh my god, she does 2 damage. Oh boy. Alright, toaster caked her. We are not doing so hot. Oh. Cursed Grimoire. You find a heavy tome wrapped in moth-eaten black velvet in an old locked cabinet. When you remove the book's wrappings, you recoil in disgust. It's bound in human flesh. So we found the Sanderson sisters' book. I'm gonna take that with me. Grabbing a book, you cut yourself on a rusty nail driven through the cover. Oh my god. So we got an injury, and we got the... Gain a random spell, lose 1 to 2 reason. What injury did we get? Oh my god, we're coughing blood. Alright, Runner, I'm gonna head out for the night, but I'll catch you next time, friend. Thanks so much for hanging out, Akin. It's been great chatting with you and everybody. So happy that we can talk about Sound of Music. I'll catch you on your stream soon. Hope you sleep well. Again. Yeah, I'm like, I need to go to bed too. I'm just gonna finish this and then raid out and then, you know, hit the hay myself. You enter the artwork shop. The room is cluttered with half-finished sculptures and bizarre masks hanging on the wall. One sculpture strikes you as eerily realistic. Check out that sculpture. The head of one sculpture looks so lifelike, you move closer and use your hand nervously to touch it. It falls off. Of course it does. Same here, obviously, but I'll stick around through the end. Oh, okay. Thanks, Aurum. I appreciate it. I think we're getting pretty close to the end. I had this person stumbles out of the sculpting classroom and it's reaching for your head. Oh my god. Alright, yeah, this is the end for us. It was a good effort. E for effort on this time. We are demolished. Absolutely demolished. You've defeated the Headless Mannequin. Resisting the unknown horror was taking its toll on your health. Weakened, you finally succumb to your injuries, alone. As the dust settles upon your open eyes, reality starts to crumble. Old God is ready to return once more. Alright. You've perished. Cause of death, stamina loss. In this run, you managed to solve one mystery. You saw 13 new events. You encountered 5 new enemies. You didn't unlock any new achievements, but we got to see some new stuff, so that's always... what a blessing. But that is going to be it for me, everybody. Thank you all so much for hanging out and for being here and for chatting with me. I'm going to find somebody to read out to from our Discord. Let's see here. Who's on right now? Oh, you know what? Chris Gaming's there. Let's see. We'll go to Chris Gaming. Let me figure this out. So if you want to stick around, we'll go over there and say hello. But thank you all so much for being here, and I will catch you soon. And have a great rest of your night or evening or day. And yeah, I should be back sometime tomorrow, hopefully with more Wandersong. All right. Bye, Aurum. Thank you again for hanging out. Have a good night.